How's it going? Wooden Spoon SuperCoach here, coming at ya with the teams list for round 17. Before we get into that, no one hit a bet on the prize pool. We had some people backing the Blues, which I was never confident with. And my bet that I put on for Queensland to win the series after game one is looking very good. And no other bets as well. I think someone was backing the Panthers, which was the upset of the last probably month. So no luck for this week, but bye week, major bye week, it's when the weird stuff happens. So don't forget to leave your bets for round 17 coming up down below, and we'll get those on and we'll get pushing towards that $1,000. It's actually starting to get pretty close. I think 1,000's probably the target now for the end of the year. So yeah, hopefully we can get it to the four figures because that would be great. You got the crown again, Mac. My God.
Let's go. 8 points difference this week, so it was a pretty tight one. I was a bit nervous there. Left Aramaho off for Funifuiaki, so I sort of missed about 60 points there. And then, yeah, I guess we've now learned that Christian Wolf basically just doesn't overstretch his players. Like if they played Origin, even if they played 5 minutes, they're not playing a full game when they back up on the weekend. So, yeah, really conservative coaching from the Dolphins. And honestly, I love it. So at least now I know that for next time.
Yeah.
Also, didn't captain Farlongo. I was thinking about it, but I couldn't ignore the VC on Marzu.
Mm.
So I had to captain Herbie. And to be fair, though, even if I had Farlongo C and Herbie VC, I probably would have looped it. So it is what it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely left a few points on the table, but pretty happy. Still got some green arrows up to 35K overall. So yeah, definitely climbing from where I was at like 50, 52 or something at one point in the season. So it was pretty bad, pretty dire. And I'm also closing that gap on you. 163 points now between us. I'm definitely feeling pretty confident I can run that down before the end of the season.
Yeah, this week particularly hurts for me. Where was I? I think I was playing a poker tournament and I saw Lasardi go over. I'm like, yes, yes. And then I'm like, wait. Go back to my team. I forgot to put Lasardi in for Dylan Lucas,
Bro.
which caused me to cop Makasini as an AE, which I think you had to cop as well.
On Chloe's team,
Um,
yeah, we forgot.
yeah, yeah.
She forgot to tell me that we had the Ponga reserve on, and yeah, I knew Ponga wasn't playing, but I just didn't look at her team on that night. And next minute, yep. So we also wore Makasini for her team.
Yeah. So I should have had the crown this week, but you gotta be punctual. And I just missed out on it. Got no one to blame but myself for that. But yeah, 12.98. It could have been a really good week for me. That probably, what would that have got me up to? I feel like it was probably a 50-point difference with Lasardi scoring a try. So
He scored
13.50, but
68, so it was actually only about
about
35. About 35, yeah,
okay. That hurts
yeah,
a bit less, but
yeah,
when there's a crown on the line, it's not good.
yeah. 5 weeks in a row. Let's go.
Yeah, fuck. I need to get my shit together. Which I have been. We didn't do the biggest of videos last week. It was more just like get your bets in, not going to go too in depth. So I've made up for it by finishing off the run home spreadsheet that I'll refer to as we go over the teams lists. And I think it'll be pretty helpful. So speaking of, let's move on over there. Starting up, Eels and the Rabbitohs. With the Eels, Iongi has been doing pretty well. Um, but I don't really think he's one of the run home guys you're picking, especially if we have a look at the spreadsheet. I'm pretty sure Eels are pretty far down for the team that I would be targeting, which makes sense regardless of their draw. But yeah, there's just no one else on the Eels that I'm excited about, and it's been like that for ages. Yeah, don't think we need to go into anyone there.
Agreed.
Cool.
And then Rabbitohs. Yeah, look, I don't know. I mean, I suppose Fafita and Keon are still options or something, but yeah, look, I don't think I'm targeting any of these guys either. AJ, if you bought AJ early in the season, then great. He's like one of the top CT dubs, and he's been consistent even without Latrell Mitchell, so that's been awesome. But you don't get on now, so yeah, I don't think there's anything really super relevant here.
On Alex Johnston, we'll flip over to the spreadsheet. So we've got the Rabbitohs there. I've actually got them at a 3, which is lower the better in that little vibe score thing. They have a decent run home. So they don't have another bye. There's a few tough games. So that draw score is from round 20 onwards. So it's purely after the major bye period. So I actually don't mind AJ as a target, maybe after the Sharks game when they come into Parramatta, Bulldogs, New Zealand, Gold Coast Titans, and the Roosters. I think there could be a couple of hat tricks in there for him. Um, that would probably be if you were like forced to make a trade in center wing. So as I was making this table, I was like, oh yeah, little run there for the Rabbitohs. Who would we target there? AJ and probably Latrell Mitchell as well. We've all got a decision to make about him coming back. If I think he actually had another
Yeah,
hiccup with his injury, didn't he?
I saw something about another month maybe. So
Yeah,
this is the Latrell faders right here. Let's go, bro.
yeah.
Like,
So
yeah,
with that, I think the Rabbitohs, whether you target them, is like Latrell dependent. So obviously Latrell coming back in is going to benefit Johnston. So yeah, won't go too far into it now until we know what's going on with Latrell. But yeah, for feeder, I just don't think like he'd have to do a lot to be one of the targets to run home with over Dylan Lucas, Hamoli, all of them.
Hudson Young. Yep,
Yeah, so I think we can probably glaze over this.
yep,
Yeah. On to Titans Bulldogs.
yeah,
Again, another two teams that I'm not that excited about. Anyone
yeah.
getting
Look,
your fancy?
I had a bit of a look at Kiraz. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not super confident in the Bulldog, and he's just playing injured. Like he's just
Yeah.
beast moding through an injury, so that's kind of wild. Like that could go wrong at any minute. So that kind of put me off. Critter at 6. Yeah, no, no thanks. So yeah, probably no from me.
Yeah.
Kinney on the other side, I was contemplating. He's making his way up that top fullback list. I think he's with that big score, he's averaging really quite well again, and yeah, he's an option if you're looking for a bit of a pod play at fullback. But yeah, I don't know. There might be other guys out there that are potentially bigger ceilings like Turbo or something like that. So, although Manly hasn't produced a big score with their fullback all season, so I don't really know what the
Yeah.
hype is around Turbo, to be honest. I won't be doing it, but I'd prefer Kinney over Turbo. Yeah, he's got a relatively low break even, and the Titans are really starting to click with their spine and stuff. So, I actually think Kinney is a fair shout for sure.
Yeah.
And they have like a ton of home games in the back end of the season with a relatively soft draw, so it could go really well. I kind of wish I got back on him a few weeks ago when I mentioned it, and I didn't do it. And yeah, since then he's been scoring really well. But
Yeah.
yeah,
The
I
Titans in
probably won't
general
go
just
there.
have looked better, I think.
Yeah,
So another one on the list there, Jaden Campbell, in at number 6 again. As you were telling me before we press record, he's due to get his duel next week, which is particularly relevant for my team.
yeah,
It means I'm able to trade out a second row forward. I ended up nuffing out Cody Walker last week to Reese Foley, so I can stick him up there. Move uh, Campbell to my second 5/8 slot next to Tamari Martin, and open up the flex. So there's probably a few people out there that duel is going to come in handy with, especially
yeah.
if you took Mac's advice a few weeks ago of trading out Hines, and then you can do the moves once the duel comes in. So yeah, keep that in mind. He'll be a
Yeah,
bit more flexible next week.
I'm looking at Hines next week as well, and with the JC duel, I mean, I got Tamari Martin in halfback as well, so between either of them really, and I still have Purdue in 6. So basically, I could move any CT dub, I could trade out any CT dub I want and get Hines. So and just move Purdue down. But my goal is actually to go Purdue directly straight to Hines, or maybe Dewey if I can't quite afford it. But we'll
Yeah,
see how we go.
yeah. Dewey are big in this week for the Tigers. Hopefully they can. The difference when Dewey was in the team was just night and day. So hopefully they can start stringing some stuff together. I'm just
That
gonna.
and the style of Dewey is just like we were saying earlier in the season. He's just such a run first kind
Yeah,
of guy. He's like a ball hog. Like he's always looking to score tries for himself. He kicks their goals. Like, and if he's not scoring the tries or kicking them, he's and kicking the goals. He's setting up the tries. So yeah, I think Dewey is just the style that he plays with is really good for Supercoach. So I'm definitely having a look at that. But I just kind of want to have a look before I jump back on, make sure he can get through a game after his injury. He has a relatively high break even this week, so even if he does, pretty well, he should still drop a little bit of price. And next week I'll be tossing up whether I want to go for Dewey or Hines.
yep. And we'll quickly go back to the spreadsheet because with Hines particularly, I've got the Sharks as the number one for the run home. So I think Hines could be a must-have. Maybe not quite a must-have because we have seen him and Trindle sort of sharing the scoring week to week. Although saying that Trindle has a much lower floor being the 5/8, but I don't think we're going to get the same Hines as we have in other years. But in saying that, there's not a massive plethora of options at halfback. So I do think with this draw, no buys left, particularly in the rounds 23, 24, 25, 26, which is the head to head finals and all that. I think it could really hurt you not having Hines. Um,
Mm.
just to zone in on Kiraz as well, because I feel like he's probably a target for a lot of people, or at least was when he was
Hmm.
coming back. I have the Bulldogs sort of down the bottom, middle to the bottom. They've just got a really tough draw. Like Canberra, West
Yeah.
Tigers is decent, but then New Zealand, Melbourne, Sydney, Souths with Latrell Mitchell potentially back. St George is good. Penrith, Broncos, who I have green, but they could very easily go up to an orange if they sort their shit out, as I've got on the right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, he's such a workhorse, so I don't think you're ever going to get a terrible score out of him, pending
Mm.
injury. But
I th-
I think there's just much better options.
Yeah, I am liking the look of that Sharks draw. Absolutely up the top there.
Yeah,
Like they've got they don't have any defensive juggernauts at all. I will say I'm not sure that the Dragons and the Gold Coast are pushovers per se. I'd actually say that they're tougher than Parramatta at the moment. They're both really digging in and having a good crack and making it really difficult for teams to beat them. So despite being at the bottom of the ladder, Gold Coast they just took out Penrith.
yeah,
And it was a great defensive display, a lot of defense, and a lot of pressure. They had very little attacking possession, and the Panthers had a lot, and the Gold Coast held them out. So, yeah, look, I don't know if the Titans are really that soft of a matchup. Same for St George. They're actually, yeah, really digging in and having a good crack. So,
yeah,
but in saying that, like, there's no defensive juggernauts up there, that's for sure.
yeah,
Like, the Dolphins can definitely let you some points in. So can the Knights. So can Manly. So can Souths. So can Canberra. Definitely Parramatta. So yeah, like that Sharks draw, that's looking good. That's probably swaying me more towards Hines than Dewey. Plus, Hines is proven. And yeah, so the Sharks, they should be good. They should be contending for finals more so than the Tigers. So probably will go that way. And if Dewey's looking great, I might end up doing the triple halfback thing again with Hines and Dewey and fade the Cleary thing. And I might even end up putting Campbell and Tamari Martin both down into my 5/8 spots and running triple halfback. That being said, Nick has been really good for me, so I don't
oh
know if
yeah.
I want to get rid of him at any time. So
Oh,
yeah, I
I
don't know. It's
love
a
that
bit.
man. He's a beast.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we've covered that. We'll move on to the next game.
Aramaho,
Oh my god,
any
yes.
interest? He's
Dude,
relatively
I
cheap
can't
still.
do it now, but I need to praise you from the heavens or just give you the highest praise for bringing him back in when you did. That is such a gigantic balls play, and you nailed it. I
Two
don't
weeks in a row,
think,
he's scored so well.
yeah.
He's got his break even's -20 right now. Like, I don't know, man. Like he could be a hold for the rest of the season. Like if you're looking for a budget second row, then yeah, look, you could plug him into your team, I suppose. Or if you're trying to downgrade somebody to make some bank some money, like yeah, you could. Although he is at 491K now, so he's kind of mid price. Yeah, look, he's I don't know.
Oh, you
I don't
know
know if it's a
what?
target, but damn, that worked out well.
I've got a Tulty to get rid of, so there could be something there. Um, but yeah, I didn't hear a peep out of anyone about Aramahau when he came out of that really low scoring phase, got his role changed back to what it was when he was doing really well. And I think that's because everyone just had the bias of watching him drop all that money, score all those low scores, and they just didn't even consider it. So
Yep.
hats off to you for that. It's genuinely one of the better trade-ins I've ever seen.
Thanks, bro. I wish I actually played him last week instead of Finifuayaki.
Yeah, well,
I didn't realize the Dolphins were just going to rest Finifuayaki until halftime. Like, bro, get him on the field. He played like 7 minutes of Origin. Like, let him play. And then Finifuayaki nearly scored a try, and I was like, yes, come on, get some attack for me. He was so close, and then the very next set, they went back to that exact same line, but they used him as a decoy and scored outside him. And I was like, "Damn it!" So it nearly worked out for Fini Fuaki, but anyway,
Yeah,
it is what
I've
it
got a
is.
similar story with one KL Iro,
Oh
which I'll
god,
get to when we get to the Sharks game.
they don't know how to pass him the ball.
Oh, that was tough.
Glad I haven't had him all year. Although, actually, that being said, he's in my draft team all year. So,
I'm not
uh,
upset with the ownership. It's just, well, I am a bit. It's been underwhelming, but I don't think it's been bad.
mm, mm.
Because yeah,
Very mid
thank God he's got
for
base. Yeah, very mid.
somebody that you want to be like a top tier. Yeah,
Yeah,
very mid.
100%. Bronco. Oh, we haven't been tipping.
Oh, yes, let's go. At least you remembered, Ray. You remembered. All right, Eels, Rabbitohs. What do you got? Rabbitohs.
um,
They're
yeah,
pretty good.
yeah. I was just
Yeah,
thinking like maybe the Eels with Iongi's form, but no, I just can't do it. It's got to be the
yeah, no,
Rabbitohs.
got to be Rabbitohs.
Titans Bulldogs. I'm
This
going Titans.
this one's 50-50. It's like $1.90 each,
Yeah,
from what I've seen. Um, who'd you say?
Titans.
Yeah, I'm going the Titans. The spine's getting better and better. The defense is really gritty. I think the Bulldogs aren't going to realize what's happening. They've
Yep,
put Crichton at 6. Yeah, I reckon Titans. They
yep.
should get it done comfortably.
Titans with the home game as well.
Yep,
Bulldogs played their grand final last week against
they
Manly.
suck.
Less
Yep.
said about that, the better. Pain. Um, Beauty. Broncos Roosters. So
Mm.
you've got quite a big trade out of the Broncos this week. Do you want to unveil that one?
Let's first touch on the two most traded in players this week,
True.
which are
Good point.
Payne Haas, and Mark Nawangani. And look, I definitely understand the Marky Mark play. Like he's been great. It's a little bit strange with them not having 18 coverage. Like maybe if you, oh, I mean, well, I suppose he'll be at Origin anyway. So
Yeah.
either way, he's not playing in round 18 for you. I haven't had a look, but just maybe if anyone who is bringing in Nwangani Tawase, maybe just double check when the Roosters are playing in round 19. Because if it's on Friday or Saturday night, like I don't love his chances of backing up after a decider at Suncorp. Whereas maybe if they're playing on Sunday or something, then maybe he is still a number for you in round 19. But yeah, personally, he could be out for 18 and 19. So I don't love it, but it's only 2 games, and then he is a hold for the rest of the season. So that is pretty good. I suppose the same thing for Payne Haas, where like yeah, I understand get him now while he's cheap, and you are going to miss 18 because he'll be at Origin, and then 19 because the Broncos have a bye. But he's pretty much as cheap as he's going to get all season, and then you can hold him for the rest of the season. So yeah, I understand it now, not a few weeks ago when people were bringing him in. But yeah, I think both of them, you need to be aware if you can cover the numbers for 18 and 19, then fair enough. If you're struggling for numbers in either of those weeks, I would not go with Payne Haas or Nwangani Tawase.
I back everything you've just said, and I can confirm Roosters play the Saturday on round
Yeah,
19, which is kind of annoying. It's like it could go either way. So it really just
yeah.
comes down to how flogged he gets up at
hmm
Suncorp. Being a
And if I
winger,
was,
his chances are probably better.
yeah, they are probably better. Yeah, but I'd be if I was the Maroons, I'd be kicking to him every time.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, just putting him under pressure. Yeah, so it could turn out to be a bit of a tough night for him.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't love it. I'm just a bit nervous about backing up. So but like I said, if you can cover him for 18 and 19, then I don't mind it. What's the Roosters draw like for the back end of the season?
Let's have a look. I think it's okay. I think they come up against a lot of those mid-tier teams. Yep. So we've got Broncos in 17, bye, their final bye. So they're another team that don't have any more buys after the origin period. Para, Melbourne, Newcastle, North Queensland is kind of like, mid tier teams that I do think they should win against. I think Markey in particular could score well against them. Bulldogs is good. Penrith's rough. But yeah, it's sort of the upper echelon of mid of the table, and the
Yeah.
Roosters' attack has started to look quite good.
Geez, you
Um,
really want him backing up for that Parramatta matchup in round 19.
yeah,
Anyone who's bringing him in, I hope for you that he plays in round 19 for you against Parramatta. But yeah, so it looks pretty good. Um, Yeah, while we're here, I suppose the Broncos, how does their run look for the back end of the season? You've got them sort of in that mid-low area. They've got a couple of tough
Yeah.
ones.
So I don't really love it. Penrith, not great. Well, never great. North
Hmm.
Queensland is, decent, but the Queensland versus Queensland teams, they always seem to be up for it.
Hmm.
Newcastle, Dolphins, New Zealand, pretty tough. They're all quite
Hmm.
informed teams. Canberra's all
Hmm.
right. Melbourne, realistically, probably fighting for a spot in the eight. Don't love that. Bulldogs in round 27 is fine. So yeah, there's
Yeah,
there's only one or two
pretty mid.
matchups in there that I actually like.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I may as well reveal my trade because it basically is on the same sort of principles of what I was just saying about Nwangani Tawase and Payne Haas. Same exact thing. But this one's purely on vibes. I am actually looking to trade Reese Welsh back into my team for this matchup this week. I have a feeling about him. He hasn't played a game for like 3 weeks because he, didn't play while he was in Origin camp. Then didn't get on the field for Origin. Then they had the bye. During that whole time, Billy Slater, arguably the best fullback of all time, has been in his ear, telling him what he needs to do, and I have a feeling he's going to be really fired up, and the Broncos are going to be desperate for a win. So I'm looking for the Reese Walsh show this week, even though it's a bit of a tough matchup against the Roosters. And then, yeah, look, he's not going to be available for 18 or 19, but I can cover the numbers. So,
Yeah.
and then from there, he, to me, is a season hold for the rest of the season while the Broncos try and go on a run to make it into the finals. So, yeah, look, I probably wouldn't recommend anybody doing it. I'm just doing it because I'm swinging for the fences from rank 35,000 overall. But yeah, I got a bit of a vibe about him. He hasn't played for 3 weeks. Like he's going to be pumped. So yeah, keen to see what he can do.
Yeah, and I'm sure no one needs reminding what the Broncos and Reece Walsh managed to do post Origin period last year. If they
Yeah,
can replicate anything close to that, then everyone's going to be flocking to him in a couple of weeks. So
yeah. Plus, they play before the Dolphins this week, so that allows me to put the VC on Reese and then Captain Herbie. So if it pops off, then I'll probably be one of the very few people that have him. And if he goes 150 or 200 points, then yeah, this could be my ticket to catching up. But yeah, otherwise, at least he'll be there for me for the back end of the season while they try and go on a run.
bloke that's just caught my eye here, Sam Walker. I think he's probably still going to be pretty cheap from that like negative whatever he scored a few weeks ago. He's probably like he was really good for me when I had him in my team before the Origin period. He could be a guy if we do start to see Penrith start resting, say earlier in the season. It may be positive in points just to flip Cleary out to him, or maybe have him in your flex rather than a third fullback if we don't have a bunch of fullbacks firing. Just keep an eye on him. He could
I
be
hear
a
you.
juicy little downgrade option.
I hear you, but considering I'm somebody who's fading Cleary all season and I could still run triple halfback with, like a Hines and a Dewey and a Jaden Campbell or something, I don't know if he's kind of in that top echelon.
Yeah.
I mean, Tamari Martin is potentially season hold if he keeps his position. He's averaging 83. Like that's insane.
Yeah, I've got
So,
no plans of trading him out. Like,
yeah,
oh, I'd love to hold him.
yeah, which hopefully we just hold him the rest of the season. He could be a great halfback two or three option, or 5'8" two.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but yeah, after some of those low games this
Yeah.
season, I don't know. And then did you see that try on the weekend where he could have just blatantly jumped over the try line himself, but he just palmed it off to the guy next to him? Like, bro, what is he doing? He's just
Oh,
giving away tries. Like, as a super coach player, you want your guys to score in those moments,
yeah.
I don't know what he's doing, just handing it on. Like, nah, not for me.
I think I'll close that off by saying if he didn't have that negative score and drop a bunch of cash because of it, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. So that's probably enough of a deterrent with, the other guys. And it's also a trade that you don't need to do. That's another thing we need to keep in mind.
Mm.
We'll go back to that spreadsheet in a second, but there's a fair few players that you are going to need to get rid of in the back end of the year.
Hmm.
So we'll check that. Obviously, you're going to tip the Broncos here, right?
Broncos, yeah, Broncos.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Broncos 13 plus. They're gonna roll over them.
With
Yep.
Payne Haas back, the outside backs for the Roosters are still not bad, but I'm having a tough time disagreeing with you. I think I'm gonna have to go the Broncos as well.
Yeah, sweet, good
Close
stuff.
game, I think.
Well, I reckon the Broncos are going to get him good, but yeah,
I hope
let's go.
so, because like God, just watching Reece Walsh in full flight is so fun.
And
So
he's been there, man. His attitude has been there. Like he's been running hard every game. I think that he just needs to straighten up slightly, be the threat on the inside of the guy marking him before going out, because he just keeps going out every time, and they're running out of space on the edges because they're all just sliding.
yeah,
If he's a run at the inline first, that's going to draw the defense in. And then if you remember towards the end of last year, like every second try they scored that was off Reece Walsh was him running through that line and then passing after contact
mm,
into the space out wide. And that's the thing that's been missing from his game so far this season. So hopefully Billy's pointed that out to him and he knows he has to straighten up a bit. And if they try to tackle him, that's when he can pass it.
mm.
And if they miss him, he'll be away. So yeah, I'm looking for a Reece Welsh hat trick. Let's go.
I mean, you've got me convinced. This game is going to be an absolute belter. I can't wait for this. 3 p.m. on a Saturday. Oh, I'm playing a poker tournament with the boys. Well, I'll have to have this on in the background. I'll have to. It's just like a home game. I don't have to take it too seriously. Yeah, this is going to be a great game and two very, very relevant teams for the run home.
Hmm.
Um, we'll have a quick look at it. Warriors are two, so best team basically after the Sharks and the Panthers. This next little run they've got after their bye in round 18, Tigers, St. George, Bulldogs, Titans. Penrith isn't great, but the Warriors are good enough to actually score pretty well against them. Broncos, Souths, Newcastle, Manly. I think particularly that first half is a really, really good run. Warriors are on fire.
Mm.
I honestly don't hate a Zalesniak or Nickel Clockstad pickup as a pod. Huge
Yeah.
fan of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust which way they're going to go each week. Like it's a bit hard with their wingers, but I suppose
Yeah,
that's the case with most teams. Also without Jackson Ford, he's out for 8 to 10 weeks at least.
that's a
So
good
that's
point.
that's probably the rest of the season.
Yeah,
Yeah, they might be a little bit slower in the middle of the field. Yeah, look, I'm not completely sold, but yeah, definitely a strong team, and I'm looking forward to watching this one.
yeah.
I have a feeling though that the Dolphins are the best team in the comp because now that now that the six agains have leveled out and the players have all got a feel for the pace of the game, Isaiah Katoa is an absolute mastermind. He's got
Oh
more
yeah.
try contributions than Nathan Cleary. If he was a goal kicker, he would be in everybody's team.
Mm,
He's insanely good. He had niggle on his knee. They rested him just because they felt they could get the win without him. His combination with Cody Nikarima is absolutely electric. Cody wants to sign him up for another year so that they can continue building and playing with this combination. He thinks it's one of the best in the comp, and I'd agree with him. They're literally setting up tries for each other. It's just so good. The way that they play is on the front foot constantly. As soon as there's a quick play the ball, everyone's pushing up. As soon as there's any second phase play, everyone's pushing up. They're lining up for tries. They're absolutely lining up for tries, and the opponents they can't keep up with them in defense. So, yeah, I just love the way they play. And not only that, in defense, the Dolphins, the line speed is relentless. Just all game, they're up in your face. You can't get out of your half. They are seriously the best team in the comp right now. So, yeah,
yeah.
they're so good to watch.
I gave Billy Slater some shit a few weeks ago when he said that he had the Dolphins as the favorites for the comp. Um, it's really starting to look like it now. If they can take it to basically the only question mark is what they can do against Penrith. But yeah, Izzy Katoa is doing shit I haven't seen before.
So good.
At least once a game. He's a freak. He's an absolute freak. Do we get him in for game 3?
Seriously, I'm probably going to start the season with him next season because Asako is going to Melbourne and he's the second kicker at the
Oh
at the Dolphins.
shit.
So he's going to get the goal kicking next year.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
I'm
Lock
probably
it
going to
in.
start the season with him. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Cleary
going to
and
start
Katoa combo. Brutal.
I'm going to start with Katoa, and I'm also going to start with Herbie and Isako because they're just two of the highest scoring CT dubs all year, every year. Like I'm not messing around with any of that next year. I'm starting with Katoa, Herbie, and Isako. And it won't be a big Dolphin stack because Osako will
Yeah,
be at the Storm. So that'll be awesome. Yeah.
yeah. Osako at Melbourne, when they get Eli Katoa and everything back, that's
Mhm.
yeah. Oh god, I
Yeah.
can't wait to have Eli Katoa back, man. It's ah, we've been robbed of an absolute monster of a bloke for the season, but it's
Yeah.
what needed to be done. Player
Mm.
safety in that. Um, so at the moment, you're running three of the center wings for the Dolphins. Are you? When's their bye?
I think
Uh,
it's round 21 or something. I'll probably move Bostock out in round 21.
okay. Yeah, I
It
don't mind holding
maybe,
the other two for the year.
yeah, depending on how well Bostock is going, because again, like the Dolphins are a threat on both sides of the field. Like if you're shutting down Herbie, they'll just go to Jack.
Yep.
Like it's so strong. Their attack's insane, and they're kicking to Bostock all the time. I feel like he's just been a bit unlucky in the last couple
Mm,
of weeks with his attacking stats. Like he scored 50 in basically base and power. Like he's had like an offload or a try assist. Like if they can get some line breaks to Jack again, like honestly, like both these guys could go huge for the rest of the season. I may not even trade him out in round 21. I might just run triple Dolphins for the rest of the season because they're seriously so good.
yeah, I'm having a tough time saying that that isn't the best 1 to 7 in the comp.
It's so good.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, God, how good would it be for like the newest team to actually go all the way? And Dolphins, everyone's second favorite team. Like,
First year they
just
make the finals, they win the whole comp. Let's
yeah,
go.
God, that'd be
Yeah.
crazy. So yeah, huge game here, huge.
Yeah. Dolphins 13 plus.
Even Hamaso, maybe the Dolphins do what the Broncos did last year. I mean, they're already hot, but do they just find that next gear? And then Hamaso could be an option at fullback.
They found
Even
it 2 weeks ago,
yeah,
3
like
weeks ago maybe.
oh, I might have to have a look at that. Because with Turbo not looking the best on the weekend, he's easing back into it. They might be telling him, try and peak for finals. Yeah, Hammer is a bit of a yummy option. Jeremy Marshall King, I don't mind as well, but it's probably I don't think we're going to be playing with a reserve on our second hooker slot. So
No. Yeah.
yeah,
But it's good to see that he's got back into that 9 spot with Max Plath at the 14.
yep,
I'd have Max Plath in for Morgan Knowles, but um, I mean, if Morgan Knowles plays 20 minutes and then you bring Plath on for 60 of the best, then that'd be awesome. Then you
mm,
can use Knowles again in the middle rotation if you need to or something. So that's probably what I mean. Maybe that's what they're going to do. But yeah, Jeremy Marshall King's he's actually really quite good in that 9 spot. So yeah, anybody who did jump on him as cover over the Origin period, rewarded now with him starting again. But yeah, definitely. Like I've still just got Uelo. I haven't touched Hooker 2 all season. Actually, I haven't touched Hooker all season. I've just played Harry Grant every single week, like, and I
wish I
haven't
could say
touched
the same.
Uelu as well. So I've saved a bunch of trades there by not messing around at Hooker 2. If yeah, I wouldn't be doing that.
I don't mind the look of Aaron Clark. Um, could
I
be a
don't
little
know,
bit of a
man.
potty option if you say don't have the money to go to Haas or Terrell May.
I told my housemate to bring him in the other day, probably a couple of weeks ago, and he's been kind of mid. And then on the weekend with Ford going down, I thought maybe he would pick up some big minutes or something, and he scored like 40 points or something. Like
Mm,
it just wasn't there. I think honestly, he might actually be a trade out.
yeah, right.
So yeah, I don't know what happened with Aaron Clark this year. I mean, maybe he's just waiting to peak in the back end of the season or something. So I could be wrong, but I would avoid. And if you have him, maybe you're either nuffing him out or upgrading him to Hudson Young or something in the next couple of weeks.
I'm wondering with maybe this week the difference could be that Ford isn't like starting at all and it's not like a sort of chop and change his role mid game.
Mm.
Maybe his role increases this week. But yeah, it is a good point. I don't recall seeing him have too many scores other than when he scored a try. And I think he
Yeah,
got like a 90 then as well. So it's not yeah, fair enough.
I think
I retract that.
I think I heard on the Baller podcast as well, which if you don't listen to that one, folks, very, very smart Supercoach players. Definitely check out the Baller podcast. Um, yeah, so I think they were saying that when they need a big minute middle forward, it's usually Mitch Barnett.
Mm,
So he could be an option after the Origin period that we'll have to have a look at sort of round 19 or so.
yeah, fair enough. Um, this is a tough one to tip. If I think it would be a 50-50 if Jackson Ford was in, and for that reason, I'm going to go the Dolphins. Yeah, just 1-12.
Dolphins going to score 40 points. Warriors won't be able to keep up.
Yeah, I
Dolphins 13
can't
plus.
disagree with it.
Bro, they're
Um,
on fire. They're
they
so
are,
good.
they are, and yeah, the Warriors'
There's gonna be
defense could
space in the
be.
middle without Jackson Ford. There's gonna be space in the middle. JMK starting between JMK and Katoa. They are just going to create so much pace around the middle, and that's just going to create so much space on the edges. No matter which way they go, we could see the entire back five scoring tries.
I do. I feel like I underestimate the Warriors pretty much all the time. So for that reason, I'm just going to back them in a little bit and just give it a 1-12 and see how they do. But it
Yep.
wouldn't surprise me if the Dolphins just, particularly like just the last 20 minutes of the game, put like 3 or 4 tries on.
Yep.
And hopefully it actually goes to Asako for a couple of
Dolphins are
tries
fit
because,
too.
oh yeah.
That's what I was saying about that line speed. It's relentless all game.
Mm,
Literally, they've already won the game. It's 40 points to 20, and they're defending with 2 minutes to go, and they're flying out of line. I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, yes, boys, let's go. So, yeah, love it.
They are good to watch. Probably the team to watch at the moment.
They're so good.
Righto. Panthers, Cowboys. I don't really think there's too much to talk about with the Cowboys. They do have a decent little run home. I think there is a rough buy in there somewhere. I do think the only Cowboy that I'm keen on having is Drinkwater, and that's about it. Um,
Thought about it. Didn't want to trade him back in again because I started with him, traded him out, traded him back in, then traded him back out again. I wasn't going to trade him back in. If I had just stuck with him the whole season, he's like literally the second highest scoring fullback.
yeah,
I'm kicking myself about how many times I've traded him in and out. So I'm just spitefully going a different direction. I'm going to hold on to Lukey though, up in the second row forwards because yeah, he's been doing a fine job for me, and he can find an attacking stat as well. But yeah, look, I'm trading out Chester this week. I'm downgrading Chester to Walsh. Never thought I would say that before, but that's making me 50K. Before Chester loses any more money this week against the Panthers, and then they have the bye on 18. So yeah, I've been slowly getting rid of Cowboys to make sure I have numbers for 18, and then yeah, that round 25. Like if you've got no trades left, and you know you've got too many Cowboys. A lot of people had Chester, Purdue, Drinky, Lukey,
Lukey,
Marnie.
yeah, Marnie, yeah.
Like
God, there's heaps.
yeah, seriously, I agree though. The only one you want is Drinky. I'm personally not doing it, and yeah, now's the time to start jumping off any of the others that you have.
Yeah,
Probably won't trade out Lukey though because I'm a sucker for depth. Otherwise, I'd nuff him out and get Hudson Young or something. Maybe I'll do that, but that'd be a bit of a luxury.
yeah. So with pretty much this, everything I'm about to say is only directed towards Drinky. But that last 5 weeks of the season, if they didn't have the bye in round 25, they
Mm,
would probably be second or third on the table here. Because I think some of these grand final weeks, um, I think it's worth just having the cover and not playing him for that round 25 because there's some good matchups there, and most of the attack goes through Drinkwater. His scoring's been really good. There could
mm,
be a couple of tougher games after this bye. We've got Penrith as well beforehand. I think I'm just going to stick strong with him for the year.
yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
and I don't even know what I'm going to do with my other fullback spots. I don't really see a reason to trade Farlongo out, especially now that we've seen him finally hit that ceiling. I
He's
don't think
fullback one.
there's yeah, I don't think there's any reason he can't do it again.
That's right.
Um, and honestly, for my third fullback, it who's to say that fullback is the position to use your flex in? It could be halfback.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't really have many plans for trades at fullback, and
Yeah,
yeah,
I got a CT dub in flex at the moment with Farlongo and Walsh, who I'm hoping is a beast for the back end of the season. But yeah, I'm kind of rolling the dice there. But yeah, and then I'll probably just do some get one of my CT dubs if they get injured or something, get them out and rotate in some halves or something. Like I said, I can trade any CT dub to Hines next week, and
yeah.
then yeah, so
You know what,
Think,
actually? I might try and get Hammer in at flex just after the Dolphins
yeah,
hype, and they've got a decent draw. They've only
yeah.
got one bye left around 21.
I'm
That's
not
not the worst.
I'm not huge on Hammer. I feel like he doesn't have the work rate that I want. You know, like he
Mm,
definitely goes missing, and then somebody makes a line break, and ooh, here's Hammer to score the try. Like
yeah.
that's great. But I wouldn't mind having a bit more of a work rate out of my fullbacks.
Mm,
But I definitely see where you're coming from. Like they're going to score 40 points a game from here on in.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, he should score well, but yeah, I
He's
don't know.
like
I
always in
wouldn't do it.
support.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely there. But like I said, they're lining up to score. Somebody makes a
Mm,
break. There's five guys. Like you pick who you want to score the try. Like and just pass it
yeah.
on. So
I
yeah,
definitely don't think you'd want a Hammer and a Walsh. That could be a deadly combination in a bad way. They could
yeah,
both go low. It could be massive. They could both go high, but I don't think you want
mm.
two rocks and
uh,
diamonds fullbacks.
yeah. I mean, the fullbacks I was looking at was Dylan Edwards and Scott Drinkwater. They
Mm.
were the two that I was sort of eyeing off, and then I decided to roll the dice with Walshy because he hasn't played for 3 weeks and he'll be fired up.
Yeah, Dylan Edwards, I also really like. I suppose we move over to the Panthers now. Decent little segue. Edwards, I like. Resting risk is the only problem. Jenkins, I also really like. Penrith have a really good draw as well, and they can flog anybody. Um, so yeah, Jenkins is up there. I don't think he's as likely for a rest. I don't think anywhere near as likely for a rest. Um,
Wasn't there a
I
game last year? Was it round 26 or something last year where they rested like literally the entire team except for
yeah.
Jenkins? Like, what did Milky do wrong?
Yeah, they knew. Yeah, Jenkins will carry. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. Just leave him
um,
out there. He needs experience.
I like the Edwards pick a lot better for your team because you don't have Cleary. If they were both to get rested, that would be tough. That's
I'd
not
like the
something you have to
Edwards.
think about.
I'd like the Edwards pick a lot better if he had the goal kicking, but
Mm,
it's like Cleary or Alamotti. So like, but he's
yeah,
still scoring 80s. He's bloody good. He's really good, and that's the work rate that I'm talking about. I love his work rate. Um, Bit of a Panthers fader kind of guy. But yeah, I've jumped on Jenkins and held him all year, so happy with that. But yeah, Edwards is definitely a great option for your fullback for the run home.
yeah,
If you can cover 19, which should be relatively easy. But also, there is a little bit of a risk that they select him for Origin 3 over Teddy.
yeah,
I just don't know though. I can't really speculate what they're going to do.
yeah.
But there was that slight risk that kind of put me off. Plus, I needed the money in my bank to get Hines back next week. So, yeah, I was happy to downgrade to Walsh. The fact that I could downgrade Chester to Walsh was a big factor.
Yeah, that's what's tough about Edwards is a lot of people are probably going to be looking at a fullback to bring in now for coverage. If you're in that camp, I don't know if I can recommend Edwards. And then I also don't know if I can recommend bringing in another fullback and then bringing him in afterwards, unless there's, another, maybe
Yeah.
a flex or something you need to get rid of. That's very team dependent.
Hmm.
But yeah, for
If he
the
doesn't,
run home, love it.
if he doesn't get picked for Origin, which we'll know before 18, then you could bring him in for 18. And that way you know. But I'd probably just wait till next week once we know who's playing Origin or not, and that way you'll know if he's actually going to be a number for you in round 18.
Yeah. And don't be surprised if you need an extra trade to, particularly around 27 and 26. You could easily need to replace those guys. But with how
Yeah,
much money we've generated this year, it probably is possible that you can just cover him.
yeah.
But you will
You
give
make a
yourself a
good point
massive
though.
advantage if you can sell him and have, 850K to play with to bring in a pod that week.
Trades have been scarce, and if you people are bringing in some nuffs, then maybe your depth is going to get tested if you've got a bunch of Panthers or something. Maybe even me with a bunch of Dolphins, or so they could end up being second and get rested in week 26 or 27. So yeah, there is that risk of rest. So I would sort of caution against having too many nuffs or trying to save some trades. But I can't imagine people have many trades left by round 26. So yeah, it's a little bit scary for those teams that are right at the top of the table.
Yep. With the forwards for the Panthers, no one really sticks out to me. Like Papali'i's been good, Yo's been all right, but just I think the rest factor with these guys because they don't have that like crazy ceiling. I just don't think it's worth going anywhere near them, to be honest.
Agreed. Yep.
Cool. Panthers win this comfortably. Oh,
Yeah.
the Cowboys have done all right against them like a few
Uh,
times. Or
You're
did they?
right. But after losing last week, there's absolutely zero chance the
Oh,
Panthers
yeah,
lose
yeah,
this
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, fair. Fair. Yeah, Penrith 13 plus. Oh, what a good weekend of footy this is going to be. Oh man. I still am torn on Turbo. I'm obviously glad I didn't bring him in last week because he didn't look himself. But usually it's not a slow transition to him becoming his best. It's just 1 week, bang, he's back. And Manly and Melbourne have like an insane rivalry. It's at Four Pines. I don't mind it this week. I really, really don't. Storm, yeah, like what is there to say? I can't really recommend bringing Turbo in. Yeah, there's not really much to say about Manly at all. I don't know if I back any of them. I do have Lehigh, which has been finally starting to work for me. He had a couple of low scores there, but over the year, he's been solid, even when he hasn't been scoring tries. So I don't mind that. Probably don't recommend bringing him in unless you're specifically after a pod and you need maybe round 18 cover or whatever. If they even play
I,
round 18, I can't remember.
I want Olakawatu for the run home, but I'm a bit nervous about Origin selection again.
Yeah.
Like, how does he go from starting to 20th man? Like, you won the first game and then you lost the second game. Like, that was one of the main things that you changed. Like, would you not just bring him back into the squad? So, yeah, look, I'm a bit nervous about the cover there because actually, they play round 18. It would be great. So, again, I might have a look at team lists next week. And if he's 20th man again or misses out completely, then potentially look at bringing in Olakawatu. The
Yep.
other one on my radar for the run home is Hudson Young. If I'm going to make a upgrade in the second row, then it's going to be to one of those two guys. Otherwise, I might just run with what I've got. To be honest, just conserve trades. But yeah, look, I'm not bringing in Turbo, and it's for two reasons. One, there's definitely the injury risk, which
Yeah, of
everybody's
course.
aware of. So if you're bringing him in, you don't care about that, which I get. But the second thing is, like I said before, the Sea Eagles they haven't produced like a big score from their fullback all year. So I think their attacking structure doesn't necessarily favor fullbacks per se. And
Mm,
then he doesn't kick goals. So I just can't see him outscoring even Drinkwater for the
yeah.
rest of the season or Edwards with his work rate, So sure, he might have a game or two where he does crack that 100 with his line assists or something and try assists, but yeah, I just can't really see him going as big as some of these other guys. So, yeah, I think Reece Walsh should get the goal kicking with Adam Reynolds out. So, yeah, he has a high work rate, a high ceiling, and goal kicking. To me, he's a better option and he's cheaper. And like I said, he's just been in Origin camp. Like he doesn't have injury risks. Like Reece Walsh to me is a way better option than Tommy Turbo. If he didn't have, if he wasn't missing 18 and 19, I think everybody would be looking at him. So yeah, it's just one of those things. But I personally wouldn't do it. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people will, and maybe it'll bite me, and maybe next year I'll be a guy that gets Tommy Turbo. But so far, yeah, not getting him, and I won't be getting him.
I think Turbo, we can make it as simple as this. As soon as we see him completely unhampered and we see Manly starting to make breaks from long range, then you can have a look at him. Until then, it's probably not worth it.
Yep, fair.
Over for Melbourne, Munster's an interesting one. There's a lot of people bringing him back in. I just, I don't think it's worth a trade, to be honest. If
Yep,
you've got Tamari Martin, don't think it's worth it.
yep.
Uh,
Tamari
Maybe
Martin,
if you're
Jaden
looking to get
Campbell.
rid of a Cody Walker, that's about it.
Are you ever going to put a reserve on your second 5'8" for the rest of the season?
See, I might, because I've got Tamari Martin and Jaden Campbell once I move him up
That's right.
there. Um,
Right. Maybe. Yeah. But if you've got Tamari Martin and Jaden Campbell, why do you need Munster?
yeah, I'm talking, say someone's got, yeah, no, it's a good point, because you're
Do you know
more
what I
than
mean?
likely going to have one of them. You'll have a decent 5'8 option.
Yeah. And then you can run your CT dubs on reserves
Yeah.
based on matchups and stuff. I don't know if we need to gun 5/8 is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are going to have two gun 5/8 because they'll be running Cleary, Hines, JC, Tamari Martin, and we all picked up Tamari Martin for 300k.
Yep.
So why we spend 600k on Munster when we got Tamari Martin at home?
Yep.
Like
Fair.
I just don't know. Like if you haven't got him already, I wouldn't do it because you should have bought him weeks ago when he was 500k or cheaper. But nobody was brave enough to do it then, me included. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
There's like
I probably wouldn't do
one
it.
scenario where I can justify it. Would be if you've got Cody Walker and Reese Foley, and that's about it.
Or if you have Purdue and Cody Walker or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. If you don't have
But even
any
then,
guns.
if you have those two guys in there and you got JC and Tamari Martin or one of them up in your halfback spot, then you just get Cleary or Hines back in your team and move down your JC or your TMM. I just don't know. I just don't think you need two gun 5/8s. So I don't know. It's like Hooker. I just wouldn't want to waste trades there.
Yeah.
Um,
There is a
personally,
part of me. Sorry,
I've
go
got
on.
Nicarima. I got Nicarima. So
Yeah.
I'm already in a point where Nicarima's actually been really good and the Dolphins have been really good. And,
Yeah.
when I move Purdue on for Hines next week, it's like, well, I'm already going to be stuck with two really good five
Mm.
eights. Like, I don't know if, yeah. And I don't think I'm going to put a reserve on one of them every week. So I don't know. It's a tough one.
The thing that like I just saw his name there and I'm like, he just absolutely towed us up in Origin. Melbourne are gonna need him like all guns blazing to make the finals. I can see a world where he is the number 158 for the run home.
Yeah.
Um, it's just a matter of like, is that even enough to justify a trade in? Just the
If you,
possibility that he could. I don't think it is.
if your 581 gets injured, then you bring him Munster.
Yeah, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. In the forwards,
What about Warbrick?
Lasardi. Oh yeah, Warbrick. He's like 400k, isn't he?
Yeah, and he scored like 140 points.
Yeah.
Um, they're kicking to him a lot because on the other side they've got Moses Leo, so they're kind of missing the Xavier Coates aerial threat,
Mm.
and they go into Warbrick a lot. They're also making pretty good space on the right side as well. Farlongo is a great threat, although I would say don't get Warbrick, even though I just wanted to bring him up because he's cheap and because a lot of people saw his score from last week and might be thinking, oh, this is a good option.
Mm.
Actually, I like the Storm, but with Hughes out, Wishart's going in there. Wishart's not going to throw those triple cutout passes to Warbrick on the wing.
Yeah.
He's right, but they'll still kick to him. But that long ball is probably off the table, so he's probably less of a threat than he has been so far this season. Plus, he has a low score in him here or there. That's why he's 400,000.
What
He
I
has a lot of low
like,
scores in him.
well, yeah, exactly, is that price for a reason. What I do like him for is if you are like desperate to get rid of a Macassini or something. Um, the thing is though, he's probably not that much better of an AE option on some weeks.
Mm.
Um, a lot of weeks he will be a lot better than Macassini, but
Probably get
yeah, it's
enough out of
tricky.
Cassini. Probably enough
Yeah,
Macassin. Yeah.
that'd be my
After
third.
round
So
after round 18. Well, who's that Cowboys Walshy who is a CT dub 2RF
yep,
dual?
yep.
That's probably I'll
I
probably
don't
enough
mind that either.
Macassini after him. Yeah. And that way I've got a bit of flexibility. Um, yeah, I got way too many CT dubs.
Lasardi. This is another very team dependent one. I'm probably just going to hold him for the year as more of a
Yep.
depth guy than playing him every single week.
Me too.
Um, but he has made a lot of money, and it would be kind of a waste to not use that money if you're not going to play him every week. So I can understand trading him, but again, it's the time of the year where we need to not be so frivolous with our trades. So my recommendation to like 90% of teams would just be to hold him, and he'll come in
Yep.
handy at some point.
Yep.
Um, yeah,
That's what I'm
it's
doing.
pretty much every team I recommend that to.
100% agree. Like he hasn't made that much money. I mean, like he has, but he could also come out. He's made 260k if you got him early, like first
Yep.
first week. He could also come out and score 80 or 100
Mm.
points on a good matchup. So yeah, I'd be holding him and playing him on matchups.
Yep. Fair. And at that price, so he's what, 500, 580, something like that.
533.
He's
533.
only he's only really going to be of use to you if you have 200k in the bank to get him up to a Hudson or a Hamoli or something. So
That's right. You need money in the bank or you need to nuff him out. So
yeah,
it's just either of those things. I don't know. Just keep him for depth.
yeah.
If
If you got
you
like a
if you need
crazy stack to RF, then sure, nuff him out and like go for gold. But
yeah.
I don't think there's too many teams that are super happy with their 2RF right now. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, because a lot of people are waiting for the best 2RFs to come back from Origin.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Manly 13 plus.
Um, Geez.
It is a tough
I
one to
can't.
pick.
I can't tip Manly. Just because, just because, right? I can't do it. Uh, but it's going to be a tough game. I'm not going to be captaining Suafalonga this week. That's for sure.
Hmm.
I have a feeling that the slower pitch at Manly is going to hinder the Storm attack a little bit. So potentially a bit of a lower scoring game, and Falongo maybe is in for a bit of a quieter one. So yeah, I'm gonna go Storm 1 to 12 because they need to win. They still have Munster and they still have Harry Grant,
Yeah.
so
And Wishart's still a gun too.
he's good. And
Yeah,
Stefano's been playing awesome.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah, Storm 1 to 12 because Manly suck.
I've changed my mind. Manly 24 plus because we got Joey Walsh at 14.
Yeah, get out of here, bro.
I am keen to see him play though.
Oh
He's been
man, I was
electric.
looking at Ruben Garrick as well. I was like, oh, Ruben Garrick's actually come good. Like he's a proven super coach gun
Yeah.
who had the goal kicking back. And he's out from concussion, which sucks. And then I don't know if he's gonna get the goal kicking when he comes back again.
Mm,
So that's a bit shit. Um, yeah, I suppose we'll see in a couple of weeks when he comes back. But Ruben Garrick could be a good CT dub for the run home.
he could
I was
be.
looking at him. I was looking at him for around 18 cover, so I'm not going to know if he's goal kicking or not. So I'm not going to do it. But
Mm,
like, I mean, if word comes out that he's got the kicking, then maybe I get him for around 18 and then hold
yeah.
him.
He
I don't
does
know.
get through his work and stuff. The goal kicking is like the deciding factor. Even
Yeah.
with the goal kicking, um, I reckon he's a center wing 5 at best.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it'd be a
Yeah.
matchups guy that I'd just have in my team, but I could fuck Macassini off and get
Yeah.
in Ruben Garrick or something,
Yeah,
or
I
even
like that trade.
Holmes. But Holmes is all right, bro. I may as well hold him. He's a goal kicking proven gun as well. Like, what's the difference? Like, I suppose the Dragons suck compared to Manly. That's the major difference.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of the Dragons, our boy's back coming up against him. Sasungi. He's
Let's
finally
go.
back. Um,
Yeah, my draft team needed that badly, so
yeah,
stoked.
in at center as well. I love it.
Yeah,
This isn't the best game for us to get the best gauge. Well, I suppose it is. Like if he's looking electric in attack, like granted it's the Dragons, but yeah, if he looks remotely how good he looked earlier in the season, it's gonna be difficult to get him in, but I think it's just gonna have to happen because he was so good for us.
he was so good. I'm gonna give him a week to have a look, make sure he gets through it all good.
Yeah.
But I can tell you one thing straight away. I'm not playing Valentine Holmes in any of my teams this week because Sasangi was awesome in defense and centers as well.
Yeah.
So, yep. Don't play Holmes in this matchup. And yeah, Sasangi, man, I want him. I really do. I might look at. Basically, it's going to come down to injuries for me for most of the rest of the trades that I do. If somebody gets injured,
Mm,
I'll move them on, and I'll look at somebody like a Sasangi. But it's tough because I kind of want him in second row. Maybe round 21, I go Bostock to Sasangi in CT dub. If he's just keep scoring 50s. But yeah, look, I want him, but it feels like a luxury trade unless somebody gets injured and I need to make something happen. So at this stage, probably not on the urgent list. That's for sure. But we'll see what happens. I mean, there's still Origin 3. There's still couple of games left. But yeah, like I definitely if the Raiders if they played in round 18, it'd be a different story. I'd be looking at him like for that round 18 coverage, but they don't. So
let's have a look at the Raiders' run. I don't think it's good. Look, they're down the bottom here, but it's not directly down the bottom. There's not that many tiers, but
yeah,
the round 26 bye hurts a lot. They've
Mm.
got Penrith in there that hurts, Newcastle Sharks. The Raiders haven't looked great, but
The
I
second half.
genuinely think that's a lot to do with not having Sasungi. Like he's been such a weapon in attack and defense for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So yeah, look,
The season
he's I like it a lot.
the season might be a write-off for them. So
Yeah,
I don't know how locked in they're going to be. So yeah, I probably won't do it. I probably won't bring Sasongi back. He was
yeah.
freaking awesome, though.
I'd love to. I'd love to. Even like a Lasati to a Sasungi, that's a trade I could get around. He's probably what 650 ish or something after the low score with the injury, something like
I'll
that.
I'll have a quick look
Um,
for you.
but yeah,
Bro,
he's
bro's
like
still
our Latrell for this year.
he's still 760K.
Oh,
So that's a wait and see this week. Make
yeah,
sure he gets through. Break even's 140. So, hopefully he drops a bit of cash. But that for that price, like you could get Hamoli.
yeah.
So like, yeah. Yeah, nah.
If you were to go him, it'd be round 19 at the absolute earliest.
If you held him, who I'm pretty sure one of my draft mates has held him this entire time, if you held him, then absolutely play him this week.
Oh yeah,
That's
oh
yeah,
yeah,
like I just wouldn't trade him in. Yeah, because he'll be
yeah.
cheaper next week and we'll have a better idea of what's going on.
Sweet. Probably the only other Raider that we're keen on is Hudson, and I don't think the draw or anything really matters too much for him. Other than that, buy in what I believe I was just looking at it is
Round
the grand
26.
final week, right? Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
So you got to
yeah.
be prepared to not have him for your head-to-heads in the grand final week, which sucks. But he could make up for it in that time if you have the depth. People should have depth this year. I'm actually I fully understand why everyone's keen on him. I'm not that keen on him for the run home. I think I'm okay in my 2RF.
Yeah,
Um,
look,
it'd be
I'm
nice.
actually I'm pretty okay as well. Like I suspect Willison is going to play out a starting role for the rest of the season.
Mm,
Ryan Couchman's been an absolute beast.
yep,
If Finifuliaki gets back to the form that he had at the start of the season, I'm flying.
yep,
You know, Lukey is a pretty good attacking threat. Like these guys are all guns.
yeah,
I think it's a little bit sideways to try and
yeah.
maybe scrape an extra 10 points per round or something. I mean that could be the difference if you were in the top 3,000 and trying to get to the top 1,000. Maybe that is the difference that you need. But
Yep.
for me, I've got bigger fish to fry. I need to make sure I'm getting huge ceiling players in my team that are going to do something. I might start the season with Hudson Young next year just because I love the way he plays. Like he's super creative, like
Yeah.
putting in kicks and stuff like that. That try on the weekend, he wrapped around two players and put in a kick back on the inside. Not a single person on any broadcast or podcast has mentioned the fact that Owen Paddy was a meter offside when he scored the try. But but still, I think it's because the try was so good that even if you saw it, you'd say, "Ah, just give it to
Yeah.
him." But yeah, Hudson Young, he's a really cool player. He's a really good player. So I might start with him next year. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like it's a little bit sideways from some
Mm,
of the great players that I have already. If I'm going to make an upgrade there, it might be to Hamoli just because of Manly's looking better. They're in a better spot on the ladder, and the way they use Hamoli is a lot more aggressive. Whereas, yeah, Hudson's a bit more kind of ad lib. So, yeah, I definitely understand it. I like it. If I had plenty of trades or if I had an injury in 2RF or something, then I'd look at him.
yep.
Um, but honestly, Sasangi with the duel could be just as good and score better. So,
Yeah.
like if you're looking at Hudson Young, you might be able to just get budget Hudson Young for Sasangi, and it might end up being better for the rest of the season.
I would say this kind of goes for both of them, Sasangi and Hudson. If you are lacking in the 2RF, like say you haven't brought in Hamoli recently, if you don't have a Dylan Lucas or a Stewart or whatever, and you're looking to bolster up there, and you just want to go against what everyone's doing, I think he's probably going to be the lower owned of like the gun players. In that situation, sure, you could do it.
Mm.
But yes,
Mhm.
just it's not really for me.
Yep.
Over at the Dragons, it's basically just the Stewart. Sorry, the Couchmans for me. That's what I meant to say
Yep.
before, not Stewart, the Couchman.
Yep. I think Ryan's the better player.
Yep.
Um, so I mean, I know they kind of seem to go back and forth between who scores the biggest super coach score each week. But I've already got Ryan. I'm definitely not looking to bring in Toby as well.
Yep.
So happy with Ryan Couchman. He's great. and yeah, otherwise not looking at a single dragon. But next year could be starting the season with Drinkwater.
Yeah, and they'll
So
have what's his face, Keon as well.
they'll have they have such a good pack at the moment. What they're missing is a bit of finesse in the back line to score some points, and that is exactly what Trinky offers.
Yeah,
Plus, he has the goal kicking. Like the Dragons could be a proper threat next year, especially with Metcalf and as well
oh
Metcalf and
Metcalf as well. I
Keon.
knew there was one I
Bro,
forgot.
this yeah,
Yeah.
like I could well be starting with a couple of Dragons next season, um, but yeah, primarily Drinkwater when he gets there. But for now, yeah, no, I'm happy with my one Ryan Catchman and my my Valentine Holmes, which I've had since like round 4. And
God.
look, yeah, I might get rid of him at some point if I need to do something like if I've got luxury trades or whatever. But yeah, geez, he's not worth much. I can't really upgrade him, but be more likely to nuff him out. If
Yeah.
nuffing out Macassini doesn't give me enough money to make an upgrade somewhere else that I need, then I might just nuff out Holmes and go with that.
God, what a roller coaster it's been. I'm glad it wasn't just poo for the entire year. You did get some scores out of him.
He's been alright. He's been,
Yeah.
and I've rested him on the weeks that he has kind of had some dud scores since. So I tend to pick a couple of the good weeks, which was alright. And so yeah, I kind of wish I traded him out instead of Cobbo way back in round 10 or something though.
Mm.
Yeah,
Um, Easy tip,
Raiders
Raiders. Yeah. If
head to head though.
if yeah, I think it'll be close because the Raiders haven't been amazing, but Sasongi's my guy, so I'll never go against him. Knights Tigers. This could be another good one. Some big ins for both teams here. Starting off with the Knights, Ponga's back, so immediately that excites me for Greg Marzu, Brandon Best on the inside of him as well. I do think the Knights are just going to be too good in this game. It's just a matter of which way they go. What's Ponga doing? Do they click? Fletcher Sharp, I think, has been a little bit of a letdown. Um,
Yeah,
Glad I didn't jump on him.
yeah, yeah. Happy. Yep, exactly. Yeah, everything you said.
Yep. With as targets, I don't think there's really many you'd be looking at if you don't have them already, other than maybe Ponga. But
Yeah,
I think the Knights
he's
are
the one.
also one of those teams that have a really rough bye. Where are they? Knights,
Oh,
Knights,
around
Knights.
27.
Yeah, round 27. So not a grand final week, which is good, but it's still not ideal to be missing him for the final game of the season.
Yeah.
Draw's a little bit tough, but it's Ponga. When he's in the team, the Knights are really, really, really good. So yeah, don't mind it.
Yeah, look, I think Justin Holbrook brings out the best in fullbacks. So it's kind of like the opposite of what I was saying about Manly, where they tend to score really well. So at the Knights, Ponga he's so good. He's such a good player.
Mm,
And yeah, their attack really suits him this year. So yeah, he's definitely on my watch list for post Origin. But like we were saying before, like, are we going to be having three halfbacks or three fullbacks? I'm not really too sure. If he comes out of Origin unscathed and they look awesome, then maybe he goes into my flex.
yeah,
But yeah, he is literally the only person on that list that I would be trading in at all, and it would be round 19 or 20. And yeah, look, Marzu was kind of on the chopping block for me. I wondered about
yeah,
trading him
me
out,
too.
but at the same time, that's probably a little bit reactive because he's still a beast. He just had a couple of down games through a period where we thought they were going to be strong, so that kind of made it even more underwhelming. But if he if everyone trades him this week and then he comes out with a massive score, people might be looking to trade him back in, you know.
Mm,
So it's just one of those things where maybe just a little bit of patience and playing him on matchups and stuff like that could be good. So
yeah,
I probably won't trade him unless it gets to like if Purdue flops hard this week and I can't go straight from Purdue to Hines next week. Maybe Marju is the one that goes to make way for Hines for me. So
yeah,
yeah, it's probably just hold. But to be
yeah.
honest,
I think for me this week's going to be very telling because the factor with Marzu is just when Ponga is or isn't in the team. If he goes low this week, then I might even be looking at like a Marzu to a Nwakanitawasi or hopefully a Sasangi or something.
Yeah,
Um,
he's got a pretty high break even. He's going to drop a fair bit, so you're going to need some cash
yeah.
in the bank to upgrade him, which is a little bit awkward. So
Mm,
I'd be more inclined to maybe he's my downgrade to put some money back in the bank or something. Because yeah, I can't really make any upgrades without doing downgrades at the moment. So it's like for
yeah.
every gun that you want to bring in, it's almost two trades.
Yeah.
So which is a little bit scary. Um, That's kind of why I'm like I'm pretty happy with my team. I'm just going to make trades as required. I think I
Mm,
nearly made no trades this week because I didn't need to, but just had a bit of a feeling about Walshy. So
yeah. You know what? Now that you've said it, um, I think I think that's a use of a trade that just doesn't need to be done. Like
yeah,
we've seen him do really well. He might have a couple of down games, but that trade is going to be so much more valuable in a month than it is now, or
yeah.
even just next week or whatever.
When somebody gets
Um,
injured,
yeah. So yeah, and a lot of people have like hot fingers and can't help but trade every week. So he will be traded out for maybe Nwakanitawasi. I'm sure that's like a semi-popular trade this week.
yeah, he's one of the
Um,
top traded out.
yeah. So it goes both ways. Like if he has a massive score later in the year, then that's going to benefit us. And then we've also got that trade to pick up the hot winger that's emerged in 5 or 6 weeks right at the end of the season that we can capitalize on. So yeah, I think I'll hold on to him.
So he's currently number 7 overall CT dub, 12 points behind Dom Young, number 6. And if you take Latrell Mitchell out of that list because he's not really an option, that kind of puts him at 5 and 6,
Yeah.
like top CT dubs. Like like you said, with Ponga back in, they're just really good with attack.
Mm.
So yeah, look, I probably wouldn't be trading him out. Yeah, and
Yep.
I'm not. So yeah, probably don't trade him out, folks.
If this game was on
Right.
Thursday, I'd probably have the vice captain on him. So that
Yeah,
says a lot.
yeah, yeah.
Not
I'm not
interested with
because
any of the
I got
forwards.
I got Walsh, so that's my vice captain this
Yeah.
week. But
Oh yeah, you got to.
that's just
You
a
got to.
super crazy pod play that I yeah. So, yeah. Look, Dewey.
Yep.
Break even's a bit high, and want to see if he comes through the game unscathed after coming back from injury. So definitely was on my radar. Like I wondered if I wasn't going to have enough money to go Purdue to Hines next week. If maybe I just go Purdue to Dewey, and maybe I fade Hines for a couple more weeks or something, and
Yep.
see how Dewey goes. But because I've been able to bank a little bit of extra cash, I'll probably just wait and see how he goes. And yeah, if he is awesome, then next week maybe he's still a little bit cheaper, even if he plays awesome. And maybe I trade him in next week. Maybe I trade in him and Hines somehow because next week we'll have 3 trades, so it'd be viable to do another downgrade somewhere, like nuff somebody out, and then do 2 upgrades potentially. So yeah, looking good. But he was really good. Love the way he plays. Alex Twal as well.
Yep.
Coming back from injury, yeah, look, it was a knee thing, so they've given him a good amount of time. He should be okay. He was a beast. He'll play big minutes, and yeah, he's been awesome all year. But like, what if I don't need to? I don't have a KPP or a Jackson Ford, so I don't have anybody to trade out to him directly. But if you've got injuries like Jackson Ford, then for sure, I reckon Ford
Yep.
to 12, great
Yep.
option. I think you're going forward to May, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, also great.
Mainly because May's been killing it. He's been sort of leveling what Alex Twelve was doing.
Yep.
Um, and 12 as the injury risk. And also, just
Yep.
when he got injured and I sold him, I kind of sold him with the expectation that I wasn't getting him back. And
Fair.
I'm fine having Terrell May. He's proven. Um, there's a possibility that this was just like a bit of a flash in the pan for 12. Like, I doubt it. He was very, very, very consistent. But with this injury, I don't think it's likely he gets back to the heights he was at earlier in the year. So
Yep.
yeah, I just like May better. Um,
And
yeah,
while he got hurt like early in the game and went off, so he scored like 8 on that game. His
yeah,
break even's 109.
yeah,
So like you've got a week to have a look, and then you can trade him in for around 18 if you need the numbers. so he'll probably be cheaper next week. He's 780K right now.
Yeah.
Let's jack them forward 750 or something. So maybe next week it's a straight swap without any cash in the bank. I'd probably wait a week if you're looking at 12.
Yep. 100%. And if he has a, if he does kind of ease back into it, then maybe in a couple of weeks we could upgrade a Lasardi to him or something with a little bit of cash in the bank. That's a reason I could get around selling Lasardi.
Yeah,
Um,
that's good.
yeah, I don't think it needs to be done this week. It's risky, particularly with the
Agreed.
re-injury. Um, Knight's getting this one
Knights.
done. Yep.
Yeah, Knights probably 13 plus.
Yep. Agreed. Although it wouldn't surprise me if the Tigers come out swinging, but I don't think they win. I think they could score a bunch of points, just nowhere near as much.
I think they're tough, but I just don't think they're as polished as the Knights, and the Knights will be good.
Yep. And that is the final game. God, we've already been going for an hour and 15. There was a lot to cover.
Yeah, my
Um,
doggo is whinging at me for dinner time, so let's get through these teams, show everybody what we've got.
let's do it. So the trades we've pretty much already been over. Terrell
Yeah,
May in and Reece Walsh in. Chester
yeah.
out.
Chester Chester to Walsh is a downgrade. That blows my mind. To put
Yeah.
50K in the bank with that. So
Yeah, God. I haven't had Chester all year. He's just a guy that I never got, which is insane because he's been really good.
I feel
Um,
bad trading him out after one dud score, but it's like they got Penrith and then a bye. So see
yeah,
you later.
it's the
Purdue's out
time.
next week anyway, and I can't do Purdue this week because I want Hines, and Hines is on bye. So Chester's
Yeah.
out this week. Purdue's out next week. Yeah,
As for my team, top half of it, I'm very happy. The most glaring issue is Tolty there. He was not as
yeah.
useful as an option over the origin period, but swing and a miss. It's whatever.
Didn't
It doesn't matter
didn't
too
go
much.
didn't go as well as we were hoping for. No.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looked good
Will.
early, but
Yeah.
he was there for like a 30 or a 40 when I needed a number, so that's fine. I
Mm.
probably will need to maybe not nuff him out, but I can sell him, move Foley up to him, and figure something out. But he needs to go because he's going to hurt me when I do loops.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think there's really any trades I need to do. Maybe a Tarpany to a Payne Haas, something like that.
Mm.
I am tossing up a third nuff just to be able to fund everything. It is super aggressive, and I don't recommend anyone has three nuffs, but I'm at like just above 30K in the rankings. I'm going to have a crack and we'll just treat it as an experiment as to why you don't get three nuffs. Or maybe at the end of the year, we're like, yep, get three nuffs at this time of the year. It's risky, but it pays off.
Yeah, I
And
was thinking that I didn't have any, but realistically, Uelu is enough for me,
yep,
essentially. It's a bit of a bummer that he's about 60K overpriced for enough, but still. Look, Flegler's a problem in my team at the moment. I was hoping he was going to come good. It's round 17, and he has not. So Paseka was clearly the better option all year. Flegler, though, I mean, maybe now is his time. I didn't nuff him out this week. I nearly just nuffed him out this week just to put some more cash in the bank. But I thought I may as well give him one more week to make some money. He's got a pretty low break even. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with my squad here. They're actually all solid.
yeah,
And yeah, maybe I just go like a Aramaho or a Stefano to Payne Haas after Origin period is done.
fair. And move over to the backs. So vice captaincy on Herbie. I think most people are going to have an armband on him this week. I think my combination is probably going to be the most popular combination,
For
but
sure.
it's too scary to deviate from it. I've tried to be tricky and VC Asako. It's just not happening. So you can lock him in for a hat trick this week. That's just how it goes with
That
my
would
vice
be
captains this
the
year.
that would be the beauty of irony right there if that does happen for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure would. And yeah, the only other real thing I need to fix down here is Makasini. Tavana is now enough as well. So
Yep.
realistically, I already have three nuffs. So maybe I
Mm.
can't go a fourth. Um, yeah, shit. I
Sketchy.
didn't think about that.
Sketchy, sketchy. Yeah, so bringing in Reece Walsh, I am really banking on him having a blinder. So I've got the VC on him. Fortunately, Herbie playing after him on the Saturday means I can still captain Herbie. And yeah, it's always good to have the vice captain on Reese because you just don't know what's going to happen. And important to note, I do have a route to do my VC loops with Mulatalo there, so pretty happy with that. You are the same, obviously, with Eero. Yeah, Nicarima's been awesome actually. So yeah, he loves scoring a try. He's averaged 70 since I brought him in. So
Mm,
like what did I say at the time? I said something like he's averaged 70 the last few weeks. I think I was actually over exaggerating it slightly, but he's averaged over 70 since I brought him in. So Dolphins just look amazing.
yeah.
I will need another 5-8 to play in round 21 when they have the bye though. So that's where I'll probably be looking at, yeah, like I said, Purdue out and bringing in Hines or something and putting either JT or Tamari Martin down into that 5-8-2 spot. And then, yeah, play him on matchups, I suppose. But yeah, looking pretty good here. Pretty happy with, like I said last week, I got 10 CT dubs in my team. The only one I don't want anymore is Macassini. And Holmes, I suppose, is yeah. It would be good if I could get rid of Macassini and bring up Jenkins and get another gun halfback or fullback or something, um, or Holmes. Yeah, so yeah, but probably will nuff out one of those spots. I don't think I need 7 for the run home, but I will need 3 of them. I will need 3 spares for round 21 unless I get rid of a dolphin. So I'll probably try and wait till about then and see what I do with that because maybe I don't want to trade out Bostock. So I might have to wait until I enough CT dub until round 21.
Fair enough. Just while you're speaking there, I was just thinking, like, how am I going to get rid of Macassini and Tolty and have money to actually bring someone in? So there's a world where I actually do go a fourth nuff. It's an
Look,
awful idea. I'm fully aware, but
I'm looking
like,
forward to destroying you in the final 5 weeks when you have no trades and no depth.
no,
Let's
but
go.
that's the thing. I will have the trades because if I was to do the fourth nuff, then it would just be probably injury cover, and I would be super, super meticulous and reluctant to do any kind of trade. Because
What, you're nuffing them out for money, for cash, right? Which means it's 2 trades because then you're also trading in
yeah,
somebody.
so if I was to nuff Tolty, that would give me about 300k in the bank, and then maybe I could upgrade a Macassini to a Bostock or something. And then I've got 4 nuffs, but then I've also got like decent depth. And then all my
Okay.
AE nightmares are gone. I get free VC loops basically every week.
Yeah, I don't know. Sketchy, bro. Sketchy.
I'm
You've
gonna
only
have
got
to
12
look
trades
further
left.
into it.
12 trades. We forgot to mention on the trade screen, you got 12 left. Using one
Yep,
this week, you'll have 12 for the remainder. I'm using one this week and I'll have 13 for the remainder because I didn't use any last week. So that was a good save. Um, but yeah, and I I'm happy with everybody in my team for the rest of the year
yep,
if I need to. So it is what it is. I'm gonna probably just try and conserve as many trades as possible. And if there is no injuries and we get to the last sort of 6 weeks and everybody's run out of trades, then I'll be able to pull the trigger on some stuff
yep.
where others won't be able to. So should be good.
Beauty. I think we can leave it there. I'll let you go feed the dog. Uh,
Oh,
go on.
bets, get your tips in, folks. Don't
Yes.
forget about getting your tips in. If you've come this far, thank you very much. It's a very long episode, but yeah, get your tips in and let us know also how you went in the last couple of weeks and where you're tracking so far. How you went with your Origin team as well. I think I'm top 20% of Origin, but with one game to go, probably puts me out of the race. Yeah, my prediction for Origin game one that I mentioned with Harry Grant running up the middle of the field and being a menace, and then them scoring bulk tries on the edge with Cobbo came true in game two after I traded Cobbo out. So that's a bit of a
Rip.
bummer.
Rip.
But yeah, let us know how you went with Origin. Let us know how you went with your teams, and don't forget to get your tips in for this week. We've got some banger matchups happening.
Yep. And don't look at my Origin team. It's, yeah. After captaining Kohler on game one, it's just, yeah, it's done. Righto. Well, oh, I forgot to mention as well. I should have said this at the start of the video. I might even just cut this and put it at the start of the video. We're just gonna do the one video a week going forward because we don't have to be super analytical about stuff now. People aren't making a whole lot of trades. We're not looking at all the scores. The viewership does tend to dip off at this time of the year anyway, as well. So, yeah, you can expect an upload on Tuesday or Wednesday going forward, and that's when we'll see you next week. Appreciate it. Catch ya.